Um, Most of you have asked me few questions about the division. Not that we are going to talk about it. So the today's class is even you can use the surface of the world to find this place within yourself. But it is the place that I'm going to talk about is unity beyond division. But this unity cannot be found when you still have an identity of who you are, what your likes and dislikes. So because it's not you're treating a set of thoughts, but actually this division happens on a neurological level in our nervous system. So the division actually lives in the body uh, and not in a belief. So you have to be very conscious about it. The vehicle that you carry has that division. If you don't know how to consciously move into that space, and the identity is the hidden engine of separation. So I will come into these topics later, and then the loss of shared reality is the deepest fracture that is happening um, because we have news, we have um, social media, so people partake on different realities. So when these realities happen in this place, I'm not against these things, but these things are meant to use it as a tool, not really become that cognitive universe. So you have to really understand what is this been happening. So if 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 this separation replaces the path of the depth and reactions have become replacing the reflection. So there's so many areas that we are coming into that we no longer even don't know what is true because we think information is truth, and identity will support information because it wants to have the separation, because when it's separated from the rest of the world, it separates your identity also. Even you feel like you have a group of people for the elevation and to have a harmony in this realization, it's a hard when it's separated. So unity is beyond division, and someone try to find unity within a division. It's like I'm trying to stop splitting, but once there is a main split happen as a division, it cannot be stopped. Even you gather few people because on a social level, on an illusional level, you feel like that's your group, and then you feel like there is a unity, but it actually keep on splitting. And when your nervous system constantly on a place of split, it is not safe. It cannot regulate properly. It doesn't perform the space of unity because it's already in division. So saying that now, I will allow you to very gently move the camera towards Daza. Hi, Maria. Um, Find a place that is very comfortable for you, to yourself, and take a couple of deep breaths to understand the practice on a deeper level. You're welcome to settle into a position that feels supported. If at any point you need to adjust, move, or do whatever, there's no expectation. So just remain still. Now, take a couple of deep breaths and allow gently to come into that place of that silence. Notice the contact points between your body and what is supporting you. So when I say notice the contact points between your body and what is supporting you, let the support do more of the work than your muscles, than your movement. Now guide attention gently, gradually through the breath, jaw, shoulder, belly. Invite that long exhales without counting or instruction. I'm trying to bring you into a place that you can come into this space without instruction. We are not trying to relax. We are not trying to meditate. We are simply allowing the body to register that for now, nothing is required of it. Now take a deep breath in and very gently on the breath out. Twist the spine to the right side. Now very gently, a couple of more breaths on the right side. Back into the center. Now very gently change the formation of the legs and very gently take another deep breath in and breath out onto the left side. On your left side, you take a couple of more breaths. So this session is not about changing beliefs, cultures, or opinions. We are not here to decide who is right or wrong. We are not here to agree on how to live, think, or see the world. We are here to slow things down. Does that make sense? Now take a deep breath, come back into the center. Give a great elongation to the space of the spine and very gently stretch the neck to the right side. You can use the right palm. You can observe how your left shoulder is and opening up that space, the ribs, lower ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs. We are doing this practice to give our body and the minds a chance to settle, to experience what it's like to be together without pressure. Back into the center. Now very gently breathe out and collapse the spine onto a seated cat. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye, just on that pelvic tilt. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Coming into a neutral spine. Even you're doing the movement, you are not totally in that space. Now stretch the neck to the left side with the left palm, that weight, right shoulder is observed. Practice is about accepting different backgrounds, carry different histories, languages, and experiences. And just to come into that understanding, sometimes division does not come from dislike. It comes from stress, fear, and feeling unsafe. Back into the center, shoulders relax and chest open. Now very gently walk those palms into the front and try to drop the elbows and try to create that ankles not crossing, so knees apart onto the Sukhasana. And gently observe when the body feels under pressure, it's very hard for people to listen. Listening becomes difficult. What happens when the listening becomes difficult? You react to everything, isn't it? What happens on the opposite when the body settles? Understanding becomes possible. So today we will use quite simple awareness and physical sensations, not to analyze our stories, not to explain ourselves, but to notice what it is feel like to share the same space. Take a deep breath in and very gently come back, shoulders relax, just open. Now you don't have to move. You just can listen and allow the body to be in that space. Now bring that left foot into the back and the left leg, opening up onto the pigeon pose. Shoulders roll back and lift up the space of the heart. Take a deep breath in and breath out. Drop the elbows, walk those palms. We are not aiming for unity through agreement here, because that's what is selling at the moment. We are creating the conditions where respect and understanding can arise naturally, because you have a nervous system which is not split. Opening up the palms, opening up and feel, and ask yourself where you're holding these energies in the body. If at any point you need to move, rest, or step away, that choice is respected. Your experience belongs to you. There's nothing you need to achieve today. We begin by simply arriving together. Take a deep breath in and very gently coming back. Shoulders roll back, opening up the chest. Very gently, we are moving into a gentle plank. Stronger on the pelvic floor. Self-holding, protection, all these things. Drop the knees and stretch the spine. Palm facing up. Spine and the back body is a continuity of support. Lower body is the readiness and the mobility. Notice any area that feels more alert or guarded. You do not need to relax them. Simply acknowledge their presence. If your attention wanders, gently return to the physical sensation rather than the thought about the physical sensation. Got it? Avoid emotional labeling. I'm inviting all of you to notice, not change. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Drop the belly, soften the hips. Breathing in into a gentle cobra. Now, if you need communication, you're speaking, that communication comes from direct experience, not fixing, not advice or commentary. Now, if you're a person who goes onto the media on a social level to observe these things, observe what you're feeding your nervous system. In the practice, silence is acceptable. What do you notice in your body now compared to when we began? Was there any moment where you did not need to explain yourself? Overlooking to the right side. Back into the center. Overlooking to the left side. Back into the center. Now, what is shared is without effort is the silence. Now, you don't get this on a news channel. Nothing is shared in silence. There's a pause into the silence. There's a healing into the silence. And the practice is not about agreement, it's about creating conditions where something shared could be felt and carried to us only what is practical and grounded. Now, very gently, palms where the elbows are, breathing into up face. And breathe out towards the down face. Now, this is your first down face. You can keep the toes pointing at each other and very gently opening up. Head and neck is not too stronger. Now, very gently bringing that left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose. Shoulders roll back, opening up the chest. Take a couple of more deep breaths. And very gently drop the elbows and move those palms relax. Now, the unity beyond division is an inquiry into why division persists in humanity and what allows unity to arise without the force. Practice is about that. This is for anything. This is for healing. This is for a relationship. This is for anything. Now, take a moment. As I said, that division lives in the body, not in a belief. Division is not primarily ideological or moral. It's physiological. When human nervous system live in a chronic state of threat, the person who feels the threat also feels the speed, and that person can overstimulate it. Perception narrows. Others are no longer experienced as living beings, but as symbols, threats, or abstractions. So observe, okay? So this modern life is continuously reinforces this state through constant information flow, economic pressures on an informational level, artificial rhythms on an informational level, a digital abstraction on an informational level. In such conditions, unity cannot be perceived or sustained. Now you understand. I have answered all the questions without answering anything for you. Now take a deep breath in and very gently come back. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. Stronger into a plank. Drop the knees and coming into a cat, completely breathe out. Breathing in. Drop the belly, opening up, shoulders relaxed. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Neutral spine. And give a good rotation to the hips, wide rotation. Wider rotation to the other side. Now knees wide apart and stretch the spine. Now, when we say when this division happens, you constantly work through the mind, but it is not the mind. It is also just not the mind. It is not a value problem, but it's a biological limitation. Unity becomes possible only when the body is regulated enough to widen the perceptions. So it's important to have the practices that restore rhythm, restore slowness, restore that physical reality, restore that shared silence, restore that grounded movement. And this regulation to occur naturally without force or ideology. Now palms facing down, rolling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into up face. Gentle movement. So that's about the division lives in the body, not in a belief. Breathe out towards the down face. Now don't force any of the postures because you're not gaining anything out by forcing. Now take a deep breath in, left leg up into the back, left knee to the left chest, breathe out. Stretch back, left knee to the left elbow. Stretch back, left knee to the right elbow. Stretch back, left foot into the front. Arms stretch onto the sides. Arms rest onto the crown. Now, if you want to do, either you can take 6 deep cycles of breath, or you can move the arms with that breath, synchronizing the movement. Because we are going to work on the identity is the hidden engine of separation. The elongation of the out breath is important. If you have done the deep breathing of the 6, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Now on the warrior pose, take a mudra and understand. Identity has become the most addictive structure of the modern life. Why? It offers you belonging, certainty, a sense of being real in an unstable world. You can see that politically, culturally, trauma-based, and even on spiritual identities provide boundaries that feel safe. However, nothing wrong with it. Unity threatens identity because unity dissolves that edge. Gentle arch. Back into the center, elbow onto the knee. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Right arm reaching into the sacrum, and keep the elbow pointing rather than the arm. And then keep the right shoulder back and also open up the back of the rib cage. Right reaching up. Right reaching into the back and touch the floor. Left arm reaching up into the back and touch the floor. Now drop the back knee, holding onto the front knee. Lunge forward and backwards a little bit to soften that area. Now remember, many people, many of us unconsciously receive the unity because it feels like an erasure. So healing and spiritual spaces often reinforce that identity rather than dissolve it. Now, this is a higher study. Replacing one story with another is not going to help you, because identity does not loosen through confrontation. It only loses through lived experience, where worth is not dependent on narrative. Got it? Arms raised onto the crown. Gentle arch if you can without tightening the lower back. Breath out, spread the wings wider and touch the floor. Into a plank. Left knee onto the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Right reaching into the back and touch the floor. Drop the knee and completely breathe out to a cat. Breathing in into a cow. Breathe out to a cat. Curve that space of the spine. Breathing in. Neutral spine. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Left reaching into the back under the armpit. Drop the shoulder blade. Now we understand replacing one story with another doesn't help. So where does this identity show? Through skill, contribution, presence, usefulness without recognition. Because in this way, those broken neural paths on separation into a unity, and it emerges when the identity is no longer required for survival. Your story you keep on saying, because somewhere down in the head, you have to use it for survival purpose. So you have even used the survival as a purpose to be like that. Observe it. Now take a deep breath in and gently coming back. Breathe out. Inner lock, navel lock into a cat. Breathing in into a cow. Neutral spine and rotate the hips. And release any tension on the spleen, pancreas, liver, kidneys. Wider rotation to the other side. Now very gently stretch the spine into the back. Palms facing up. So we talk about the division lives in the body, not in the belly. Then we talk about identities hidden in the engine of separation. And even when you hear this, you could see your ego reactions. Observe it. By observing it, also you are recreating those neuropaths to come back so that the healing begins. Healing never begins in a separate ground. Both separate grounds, as much as they are right and wrong, and one is right, there will be always tension. And there's always tension in that mind and its neuropaths. There is no healing. Now, very gently moving into a down phase, transitioning into a very gentle down phase. Don't force it. Get the same energy in the palms and the feet. Right leg up into the back. Right knee to the right chest. Breathe out. Stretch back. Right knee to the right elbow. Stretch back. Right knee to the left elbow. Stretch back. Right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. If you want to do this, arms rest onto the ground. Go to the edges of the feet so that you'll get a better balance. And then gently push back the curve of the foot. 6 deep cycles of breath. Movement is not necessary, but if you need, we are simply allowing the body to register that for now, nothing is required, movement or no movement. So this is very guided by a very higher self, this class. Now, when you come into that 6, if you're feeling to the next posture, opening up onto the Virabhadra. Take a mudra. In this mudra, we are going to work on the loss of that shared reality is the deepest fracture, the third one. Gentle arch. Gently coming back, elbow onto the knee. Left palm on the left sacrum side. Left arm reaching up. reaching into the back and touch the floor. Right arm reaching into the up and touch the floor. Now holding onto the knee and lunge a few times to release any tension. Arms rest onto the crown and a gentle arch. Observe the lower back and the hips. Take a deep breath in and come back. Touch the floor into a plank. Right knee onto the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling or to the sacrum. If you're on the sacrum, shoulder roll back and observe. Left reaching up and touch the floor. Drop the knee and completely breathe out the cat. Breathing in into a cow. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Neutral spine, right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Under the armpit. Take your time. Drop that shoulder blade. Observe. Stretch the body. Now take a deep breath in and gently coming back. Now you understand the more identity is lost. So don't say that you're not excited. You're beyond excitement, but your body doesn't know how to understand that. So you feel like you're lethargic. And that's absolutely okay. That's where the healing begins. Now very gently coming back, breathe out to a cat. Breathing in into a cow. Breathe out. Neutral spine. Rotate the hips on a circular motion. Wider rotation to the other side. Bit more wider. Push the hips into the front. Push the hips into the back. And stretch the spine totally into the back. Now, the loss of the shared reality is the deepest fracture. Why is that? Because humanity no longer inhabits a shared perceptual world. Why? The digital environment, all these algorithmic systems fragmented the reality itself. And that's fine. Creating a parallel cognitive universe is constantly happening. People are not merely disagreeing, they are perceiving entirely different worlds. So what happens in these such a conditions? The dialogue and the persuasion fail because there is no common ground. You don't have a neighbor to talk. You don't have a family to talk because the values and systems all are changing now. So reaction replaces the reflections. Certainty replaces the depth. And emotion precedes discernment. And the restoration of this unity requires a return to direct perception. Time without input. Do you have anything in your life, time without input, other than you sleeping, if you're having good sleep? You know that sleep is important because that's time without input. Do you have sensory contact without interpretation? Something going on the body, can you sit with it without talking about it, without reacting to it, without itching it, scratching it? Now, this is where the face-to-face presence without agenda comes. You can't meet a person because you have idea about that person. You have a past about that person. So face-to-face presence is harder for you. When that is harder for you, what happens? The shared reality arises through shade sensing, not by shared opinions. And the chats are all about opinions these days. What's in the news? What's with the family? What's with the friend? I bet all of you going and doing this. When the reality is shared again, unity no longer needs to be taught. These classes are nothing teaching. We are allowing to emerge naturally. Have you seen certain things on like a area that has got barren for a while? Whether you're introducing wolves or whether you're introducing something, suddenly it start growing, it start emerging. And this image is the image I'm talking about. Child pose. Crown of the head onto the floor and lifting up the buttocks just to activate that pituitary and the pineal energy. Rolling back onto the third eye and fist on the third eye. And I always say this, unity is not achieved through better ideas or stronger systems. We don't need any more. It arises when the bodies feel safe. Now, I spoke to you why the body is not safe, because you have identity. When the identity is loosened and the reality is shared, which is the reality is this. This is not a hopeful vision I'm talking about, but a structural observation. I'm answering most of your text messages and messenger messages. Now very gently wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. So the class is about unity beyond the division. So we went into the inquiry into why division persists in humanity and what allows unity to arise without force. And we went into three topics. Division lives in the body, not in the belief. Identity is the hidden engine of the separation and the loss. The third one is the loss of shared reality, is the deepest fracture. Now very gently stretch the legs into the front. Give a good shake. Awaken that feet. If any time that go to the grass, take your shoes off and grounding into the grass, into the nature. Take a day few walks if you have a safe space to walk without shoes. Bring the body to get that support without the shoes. Now very gently bring that left knee onto the chest, left foot onto the right side, right foot flexing. Take a deep breath in, left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Roll back, right arm reaching up, elbow past the knee. Take a mudra. And out of those three, ask yourself whether division lives in the body, not in a belief for you, or the identity is the engine of the separation. Or the third one is a loss of shared reality, is the deepest fracture. And in these three, you get lost a lot. Even your intention is quite to start with. So observe. Now, in the same posture, if you can again bring the right foot under the left bum, very gently roll to the right side and come back and hold it and opening a better, because this integration without the persuasion is important. Now take a deep breath in and come back and relax. Now take a moment and very gently move into the other side with your own timing. You're welcome to settle into the space of the posture. In any point you need adjustment or move or whatever you need to do, there is no expectation. Remain in this class. Pause frequently, invite silence. Even when you're bringing that left foot back onto the bum, it's up to you. Notice the contact points in this posture, whether it's an elbow onto a knee, whether it's a foot onto a bum, foot onto the floor, bum onto the floor, between your body and what is supporting you. Let that support do more of the work than your muscle. Because a lot of people, the identity is stronger, so they think the muscle is part of that identity. Actually, you have weakened the muscle by overstimulating the muscle if you have a strong identity. But by sitting with it, if you let the support to do more work than your muscle, you will understand the equilibrium of life better. Not against the muscle, but muscle will perform better when it's also supported. Now take a deep breath in and relax. Shoulders relax. Coming back. Now sole of the feet together, knees wide apart, just butterflies, just so that your hips drop in the knees without any force. So your belly, your hips, your knees, your ankles. Now very gently knees to the chest to complete, breathe out. Breathing in, arms raise onto the crown. Breathe out, knees to the chest. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out, knees to the chest. Now very gently coming into a sitting posture. Shoulders relax. Now we went in this practice to the shared presence. Now we are going into where separation lives. You're here to notice, not change. So observe the feet, observe the ankles, observe the knees, observe the hips, where the most of the readiness and the mobility. Now the core, then the chest and the shoulders, elbows. All these places are self-holding, protection. Spine, back body observe. There's continuity of support. Notice any area that feels more alert or guarded. You do not need to relax them. You simply acknowledge their presence. If your attention wanders, gently return to the physical sensation rather than the thought, the emotion. Observe through the direct experience, not fixing. You're not here to take advice or commentary. Silence is acceptable. What do you notice in your body now? So these are inquiry prompts, and compare it to when we began. Was there any moment where you did not need to explain yourself? Because when the mind runs, it's like having a mechanism working without a brake. What happens if the mind runs like that, like a mechanism? It's going to collapse. It starts separating and separating and separating and separating. And when it's separating, what happens? Now your presence is shared without effort. Your presence is given to where you need the healing. Your presence is given to where the conflict is. So as we see this space that we are holding with collectiveness was not about agreement. It was about creating conditions where something shared could be felt. To carry forward only what is practical and grounded. So the practice was not about changing beliefs, cultures, or opinions. Your practice is not here to see who's right or wrong. We are not here to agree on how to live, how to think, how to perceive with the world. What you're doing is, on the contrary, is here to slow things down, to give your body and the mind a chance to settle. Because at least to experience what it's like to be together without pressure is very important. Imagine in the same home, same family, there is so many different expectations, different experiences. So you have to understand, when this Christmas you're sitting with people, sometimes division does not come from dislike. It comes from stress. It comes onto that table out of fear. It comes to that table out of feeling unsafe. So imagine in this Christmas, not as the day of the Christmas I'm talking about. If your body is feeling under pressure, you're not going to listen to anyone, because listening will be very difficult. And on that table, If listening is not there, it's going to be not that much of a presence of that space. Now you're going to take into this table or whoever you decided or to yourself, and the body settles, understanding becomes possible. And we will use quiet, simple awareness into this. It's not about the past, fear, and stories and analyze. It's not about you explaining yourself or ourselves, but to notice what it feels like to share the same space of silence, presence. We are not aiming for unity through agreement here. We're creating a condition where respect and understanding can arise naturally, not because someone is saying it. And on those tables, if at any point you need to move, rest, or step away, that choice has to be respected by everybody in that table. There's nothing you need to achieve in that table. You just begin by simply arriving together and leaving the gathering together. Arms raised onto the crown, palms onto the namaskar position in this realization, and allowing that silence. And namaste to you all. Namaste. And namaste, Sylvia. Namaste, Matt. Namaste, Liz. Namaste, Maria. Namaste, the Zoom user. Love you all very, very much. And Matt's dad, what a big gift you bought us for the Christmas. Love you all. Big hugs. See you all. I'll see you soon. The class will continue until there is a message to you if something happens. Other than that, enjoy. And you will be the lighting Christmas tree on this day, whatever you choose to do. If you carry the light and the purpose of it. Love you all. Take care.